So it's all going to be Hamid.
Yeah.
Okay. And representing the paper 179, it's Elevating Vocational Education and Other Implementation of PBL. So, 15 minutes for presentation, and then we have questions. We'll be a bit ahead of scale. Okay, now I think it's...
Thank you for the time for doing this presentation. My name is Ahmad Hamid Bahari. You can call me Hamid. I'm from Indonesia, especially in Batam Polytechnic in the Singapore. Nice and Riau Islands. First of all, the conference mandate that we have to provide this QR code to download. You want to download my slide. First of all, I want to provide some background about what is Poly Batam and what are we doing. So we are established at year 2000. We have 4 departments and we are starting with 46 students, and currently we are having around 10 students, and we have around 6,000 graduates, actually including me. So I am actually a graduate from this campus also. So this paper is talking about the overall progress or overall effort at Poly Batam at institutional level, how to implement CDIO framework to our education system. So we start the journey at around 2017, and the background is based on robotic contest. The students doing the robotic contest job are not in the academic class, so they have to do the class and also their robotic project, and that is time consuming for them, and they graded low in the class, but they have their accomplishment in robotic contest. So that's become problem. And then we identified that how can we integrate the contest activity into their academic activity also, so they don't have to do them separately. So we starting the project-based learning approach testing in 2018 with 6 robotic contests based on the competition project. And then in 2019, Singapore Polytechnic actually invited us to attend the Asia Regional meeting, and we introduced our expose into CDIO framework. And we learned it around 2 years. And in 2021, we start implement CDIO. It one study program. The starter is robotics engineering. And then until now, we have around we have Poly Batam CDIO guideline. We write a book with research, and we also form CDIO task force team that where I am one of the member, and the task is to research and to learn about more and more about CDIO and share with others university, and to share the approach with other college. And then we try starting to adapt what is CDIO 12 standard, and one of them is how to gather the provincial level survey with 5 stakeholders, that is industry, faculty, and 5-year alumni and older alumni. And we found out that combining with different study program, the professional skill, multidisciplinary teamwork, and communication is the most needed skill, but they are not in our curriculum just yet. So at that point, we start to think how to implement this framework into our curriculum. So in around 2020, our management and high level just starting to propose how is our education model. So we are vocational education, so focus on applied science, and we type based on professional training and certification. And the next level is integrated curriculum. We try to apply in our certain way, and we try to continuously improve it. And the core value of Poly Batam, we acronym is action BBL project, problem, research, community service, and other activities. We try to integrate them. How to integrate the other activity that usually taking more resources to become integrated into learning process using project based. So usually when teacher have a project or a research project or have community service project, they integrate it into student project so that the student can do it in their academic hour. And we also propose organizing team on this PBL effort. We have PBL director, input from client problem and input also from, we started with our own problem. When our institution needed a system like online present system while COVID, and we need to tracer study system, we need mass detector and something like that, we turn that into a project base. So problem that we have identified in our polytechnic, we turn that into student projects. And also under from industry. And then we have a generator reviewer reviewing the project, and then the actor, that all element that contributing in the project, and then we produce the output with support in for of course the finance and resource. So basically we have this kind of scheme that we have supply and demand. We visiting several of our industrial fairs with proposal to what can we do for you, what problem that you will need us to help you solve with. Because in Batam is mostly manufacturing company with no head office, so they don't have like research and development. So we trying to help them with that, but with more into applied or practical tend to small problem like training application, like training videos, training with augmented reality. We help industry with that kind of help with our students. And then we also try to propose our curriculum that the main, I think the main uniqueness, I don't know if other institutions done this as well, but we have project course in each semester. So there are a course that named project. This is introduction to project, prototyping project, innovation project, and until the final project. So with that we hope that it is integrated with introduction to engineering standard BCDIO, and also design development experience that state that at least they have to at the beginning of the study and at the end of the study. So we try to promote this, and we try to copy the concept to so many study program that now currently half of our study program from 25, about 12 of them have implemented this kind of curriculum. And we also try to define skills route. So we define how to map skills progression using skills progression metric. But the problem is also we know before that is the how to measure, how to assess this kind of skill like communication, teamwork. It's rather hard. But in our approach, when we doing the project, we integrate several course into one project, and there are some lecture that designed to become a project manager. So the lecture we task them with two to three team to become a student project manager. The hope is that the teacher become a senior learner and the student become junior learner. So they not become a source of information, but they can provide a path. This is how you learn. Of course, this kind of integration is not easy. Not always all the courses can be integrated. So there are some courses that must be taught and also must be taught individually also. But most of effort of the student, we try to compress that into one project, so they don't have so scattered tasks and assignment. What are the thinking, and it's also become a cornerstone project that build up into capstone project every semester, that increasing in complexity and increasing in the requirement of the project. Here I'm providing some of the photo type of project. So we have internal project with competition and our need, like mass detector, delivery robots, smart card, presence, while the COVID. Also we have multidisciplinary project that combine several study program and several discipline, like robot, the mechatronic, robotic, and marine engineering. Also we have animation movie, Rusia, that combine animation study program with cyber security to protect the AI, and also different type of project. So in the semester we have preparation step before the semester going. We have project identification step, and then conceiving stage is in week 1 to 2. So in whole semester, the students start from the day 1 until the last day of the semester doing the project. So the project is not at the last of the semester, but they are running it throughout the semester. From the day 1, conceiving, designing, implementing, and operation stage. And then we have also the kind of exhibition that we call PBL Expo. This is some of the photo where the problem shopping, we kind of invite of industry, or we visit the industry, and then conceiving, we try to understand what's the needs and what's the regulation and other thing around, and we design and validate the design, and then monitor with the project manager and with the client. We also doing benchmarking in mid of semester and end of semester, and then we have project delivery and operation. We also recently we collaborate with Singapore to do benchmarking with exchange student to present their own project with to exchange with another. Also, there are several sample of the project that we have done, and also we have activity like expo. The first expo is online because of the COVID, and then we move into offline activity at the expo. Usually it happens in August. Then also this year we will have the expo on August. The number of projects is around 200 to 300 projects each year typically, and it's all from the different kind of source, like internal and external source. And for all the activity that we are doing in this effort to kindly reform our education, how to educate students, there are some reflection. First, from the PBL committee, first of all is the project aid in PBL management throughout the academic process, ensuring the student understand the flow. So the start to finish and facilitating monitoring, management, evaluation, and we will to be more organized. So the organization in the process is process to be improved. This is the 7th or the 8th iteration of our PBL cycle. We call a semester cycle when we evaluate last semester and how to improve it. And we found that in exploratory project, when students have the right to choose what they want to do, students tend to feel more ownership of their own project. But in given project, when okay you do this, the student tend to not really own. They just okay, you want that? Okay, this is you can okay. Then please sign the certain user acceptance test, and then just okay done. They don't really think okay this is also not work for them how it then operation on that, and also we don't not yet touch the sustainable aspect of the project. Our student did not yet reach that aspect yet. And then we think that also it is necessary to provide specific definition of done to establish equal target and burden and achieve completion aligned with the learning objective. Because at the first year when we are implementing PBL, we do not know about how to align this learning objective with PBL activity, which is how this PBL activity done. But then it will become pain for us. So which they try to align it. And from the faculty member, they say they more commonly agree with that this is a good approach to increase soft skill of the student, but the expected improvement is the need for faculty member to receive like project management training, facilitating training, because the change in educational model that from teaching to facilitating, they maybe need some refreshment and some training to improve. And then from the student perspective, mostly we conduct survey that submitted by nearly 200 students. They mostly strongly agree that they are more motivated to learn with this method. And there are several questions, but I include these two only. And they said that they learn how to do teamwork, because some of their friends just cannot, don't want to do anything, just don't want to come when they say, okay, we will progress project this day to this place, and they don't just come. They agreed that they're learning something. There are several comments from the students that they learn leadership, presentation, and something else. They learn to create the product, how to apply, achieve this result, and so on. Also from the industry, we collect the several feedback that they sample manufacturing company, they have frequently send requirement for us, and like 80 students have reference engaged in project, and then 50 of them recruited for internship, and then 25 of them from the 50 is recruited for the become employee. So this approach is really, what they say is, how can we not trust the student that we have interact over a year from the project phase to internship phase? Why we recruit other people when we know this student since the last year? So I think that's really one that some good example. But of course, this not really just only beautiful story, but we have came with other challenges, hill and valley, and other setback and other. But we try to how to improve it all the way, and we have the cycle how to evaluate and really push it around every semester. I think that's all I can present. Sorry that I'm
Okay, time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Any questions? No questions? Okay, but so let me, okay, we have followed this path a few years ago, so
Yeah.
we are following the same path. We are perhaps a bit ahead with the same problems. So I completely agree with you, but the problem with like your improvement of definition of that.
Oh yeah.
Okay. My question is, okay, if you are very strict with the definition of that, you also don't give little room for improvement for the project to be deployed naturally, because when we are interacting with a client, we don't start with a very strict definition of that. No, we have a problem, and then we clarify questions with the client. So how do you see that balance between, okay, we have very strict definition, so it's easier to assess, and the fact that the project in reality doesn't work like that?
Yeah, that's also really one of the hardest challenges I face, because what I'm the background of the thinking was why the student just okay, I have done this, just doing the checklist. So then I thinking, okay, maybe I need to strictly define the definition of that. And then when I'm planning maybe, and I realized what I just said that the project is more fluid and sometimes it's continue throughout the semester. Sometimes it's collaborate between different year of student, and then okay, I think that maybe we did not find the sweet spot just yet, but maybe at the next cycle we will find that what is the sweet spot, the definition of that thing.
I don't know if it is a sweet spot. That's a problem. Okay. Any
Maybe I
question?
have two
Yes,
questions.
please. Sorry.
Questions. The first question is about the project planification. You said that you start preparing the project before the beginning of the semester, few
Yeah.
weeks in the previous semester. What are you preparing? Can you give our more ideas about things that should be prepared by students before the beginning of the project? Second question is about teams, the group formation, in fact. At Esprit, from some projects, we give the students the freedom to choose the team members. And for other kind of projects, we impose. It's up to tutors or teachers to fix the projects. And we said that in a real case, in fact, when you work in a company, you didn't choose your colleagues. You have to work, you have to deal with persons that you don't especially appreciate. Can you give us your feedback?
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much for the great question. So, what is the preparation for
Yes.
phase that we do in this section? So we have the phase that we call problem solving. So we solve for the problem. We collect from our faculty, our industry, our industrial partners and others. So we collect all of them and we review which study program is very suitable for this kind of project and which semester, because
Faculty members
yeah,
or students.
yeah, we the faculty member, and then we put the project in the right spot, and then
Okay.
for the student they actually start at the first day of the semester. So
Okay.
for the preparation phase is mostly faculty members and the coordinator of study program.
Okay.
And then for the forming the team, we have certainly the same approach with the several projects, especially for the first year semester from the first semester student, where they just arrive and they don't know each other. We try or experiment that okay, you can choose your team member. They just come up. Sometimes there's some randomly choose, and then for the next semester, we have known their performance and we choose the best of them for several projects that more critical, and then
Okay.
the rest of them can choose their team. And at the space, they are more selective because they know their
Okay.
brand performance.
It doesn't create frustrations between students.
Yeah, I think that's come with consequences and trade-off. For the third semester, by the way, we are the authority that choose the team. Also, the thinking behind is that I'm telling the student that when you are going to work somewhere, you don't have the right to choose with who you are working. So it's so be familiar with it, because at the real world you will not have the right to choose with who. So we have mixed that's two and still experimenting which one is for which semester.
At the spring we have quite the same experience for students that have two basic learning projects per year. The first project is composed teams. It's up to teachers to choose the teams for the second semester. Since students have already take time to know each other, to create affinities, they will have the right to choose their own teams.
Yeah.
Thank you for the
Thank you very much for the question.
Yes, please.
Just wanted to know, how do you motivate the students to do the project? Are all the students engaged in this project? I mean, how many students are engaged in this project? Fair?
For the fair, we have 2 semesters in 1 year, but the expo is only 1 time a year. So we collect all the project from 1 and 2nd semester, and then we have a board of team that doing the curation for the project. So they will selected some of the best can get into the fair actually, and some of the best can have some prizes. The prizes usually is scholarship, like the free of administrative fees for 1 semester or 1 year.
So the motivation is the scholarship.
Yeah.
Correct? And the second question, how many students are engaged in the project fair?
I think
Because if you have, let's say, 1,000 of students, I'm not sure that all of them are interested in having project based.
yeah,
Having the project and doing an exhibition of the expo.
yeah.
So how would you?
Usually it's around 100 until 200 title, which one title usually have 3 students, so it's around 600 students. And we have special building for the expo activity. It's like 3 floor building for the expo, so it's quite before 600 students to do their expo.
Okay. Any more questions? Just one question. Do you have criteria to select the students? Because usually I don't select the students. Okay? I let them select themselves. The teams. Okay. Do you have because it's risky for students to have to do that.
Yeah.
So how do you do that? Is the teacher has discretionary power and says you go together, or you have well-defined criteria?
Okay, so for the student that at 2nd year that we need to choose with whom they are team up, we choose based on their performance and rubric with the first semester. So we are marking them with 2 scale, marking from their project manager, lecture as that become their project manager, that more into life skill, is they are on time with their schedule, is they are good in communication, is they're good at teamwork and everything. And then for the hard skill, we have probably this course, lecture course, and then we combine the score to form the team.
Okay. Thank you. So, no more questions? So, thank you very much.
Bye.
Thank you.